Tilder!
What is this? This is the Laofas 47-inch softbox. How much does it cost? Anywhere from $120 to $160 depending on if you get the 27-inch, 35-inch, or the 47-inch. It's super fast to set up with its click-clack system, comes with 2-stage diffusion and grid. Do I recommend it? No matter if you're doing corporate films, narrative films, or you're a YouTuber, if you find yourself setting up a softbox all the time, then definitely yes.
Done. Roll that intro.
What's going on, everybody? You're watching Too Long Didn't Read Filmmaker, where the answers comes first, the reasons come last, but we're constantly and always still learning. So today we're going to find out whether or not the Laofas Parabolic Softbox with a Bowens mount is going to be the right solution for you and your overall lighting kit. And I want to thank Pergear for sending this out to me so I can provide you with my informational review today. Now, this video is going to be a little different. You're going to watch me set it up and take it down because it is fairly quick on how you can do so. So without further ado, I want to just mash all this together so you don't have to stay here longer than you have to. Now, the Laofas comes in 3 different options. You have a 27-inch, a 35-inch, and a 47-inch. And depending on which size you get, it's going to cost anywhere from $120 to $160, which is actually not that bad for a softbox that has these specific features. Now, this is a parabolic softbox. It has a lot more spokes than an octagonal one, and of course a square one. So it's going to be a lot more circular in terms of its light output in shape, which gives you that nice little eye light in your actors that I will show you later on. And this is a 2-stage diffusion. The first stage is actually going to eliminate the hotspot that can sometimes happen with a cob LED. Usually there is a little hotspot in the middle. And then you have the larger diffusion, which is the second stage. So you can really soften up that light big time. And if you want to control the direction of that soft light, it does come with a grid as well. So you pretty much have everything you would need in terms of how soft you want the light and whether or not you want to direct it. Lastly, the awesome thing about this specific softbox is the fact that it uses this click-clack system. So you don't actually have to take out the spokes and then put it in. It's already attached and you just have to open it up like you just saw me do. And that's pretty much it. You don't have to fuss with the old traditional way of putting in spokes, stretching the fabric, what have you. Now we're gonna go straight to the bottom line because obviously I'm still working here. And basically, who is this softbox for? And pretty much people that do a lot of corporate filmmaking where they are setting up, tearing down, working with clients, doing interviews like that, having a softbox like this and how fast you can just set it up in a couple minutes and then tear it down in a couple minutes as well. This is going to be something very awesome for you. And of course, in terms of the 3 different sizes, they all pretty much work the same. So choose the size that's going to work best for you. Now, narrative filmmakers like myself, I'm going to be loving this a lot because of the 3 different sizes and how fast you can set it up. So having the 3 different sizes is definitely going to help. When I want a super soft light, I'll need the 47-inch. If I need something that's quick and just to kind of get a little bit softer light in some certain scenes, then I can use either the 27 or the 35. So narrative filmmakers, this is definitely something that you should consider if you've been looking to have some sort of light modifier and soft light for your cob LEDs. Now, in terms of YouTubers, this is really going to depend on your actual filming space because I'm in a fairly small bedroom, and to use a deep parabolic softbox, which kind of protrudes out about 2.5 inches, I think, or 2.5 feet, it's gonna take up a lot of space. And then you got your C stand, and then you have your cob LED. So for a small bedroom situation, probably not going to be the best for you. But if you do have a very large wide open space and preferably much taller ceilings, then yes, using something like a 47-inch if you need to, or a 35, if you have the space, then yes, this is something that you can consider. Now, one thing you need to understand in terms of the 47-inch softbox is if your cob LED light or whatever light that you happen to be attaching the softbox to does not have rosé locks, the 47-inch is probably going to be way too heavy. So you're going to need something like the Aperture 120Ds, the Godox SL150 that I reviewed not too long ago. The Godox SL60 actually has rosé locks as well. And then of course the Sakani X60 version 2 that I reviewed not too long ago, those all have rosé locks and they are able to handle the 47-inch softbox shooting straight 90 degrees. So if you have a light that doesn't have a rosé lock, you're probably limited down to the 27-inch and the 35-inch. Now, as you look into Amazon and you're looking for other parabolic softboxes, you'll notice that there are cheaper ones around $70 to $80. But do I think those are worth it? They are at a very hefty cost in terms of how fast and how easy can you set up and tear it down. So like I talked about before, those little click-clack things, those usually don't have it. You actually have to put the spokes in individually, so now they're shooting out like a spider, and then you have to bend it and try to hook everything together, and then to finally get to the final shape of the parabolic round softbox. That does take a while to set up, and tearing it down is probably faster, but to actually set it up, it's a lot of work. This, you don't have to do barely anything, just press down on it and open it up. So do I think it's better to save money? Probably not, because I think setting it up faster is going to get you to light everything up faster, and time is money in terms of what kind of work you're doing. So I would rather someone not fuss for 10 minutes to try to set it up, whereas this one, just a couple minutes, you literally have the grid on and ready to go. So I'm pretty much done setting that up already. So now let's go to the test results in terms of what kind of light output can you get with the multiple different setups in terms of diffusion stages and the grid. So for this first waveform test, we can see what the Laofas softbox is doing on a Godox SL150 at 100% brightness with fan on. Now the opening of the softbox is 6 feet away from the wall, and that is what the lux readings are showing. And now we're going to do the exact same test, except this time I have added the grid in front of it, and we can see just how well the grid directs the soft light in terms of whether you're using the inner diffusion, outer diffusion, or both at the same time. Now we're going to take a look at some more practical examples. I am sitting 2 feet away from the wall, so I want you to look at what my shadows are doing, as well as paying attention to the green numbers, which is what the Godox 150 is set at in terms of its overall dimming to get the same exposure. First, we're going to look at the inner diffusion only and the inner diffusion with grid. When you're using the grid, you are going to take a brightness hit, so you need to bump up the brightness, but we can see the shadow against the wall already starting to disappear. Next, let's take a look at when you're using both of the diffusion plus the grid. Again, once you put on that grid, you are going to take a hit, so you have to up your brightness on your lights. Now let's take a look at the diffusion options side by side. You can see that the more diffusion you put on, the shadow on the wall pretty much disappears. Now let's take a look at all three when you use the grid. And basically, because the grid is directing that soft light, we do see the shadows being slightly more pronounced even with double diffusion. And there you have it. I know we kind of went a little out of order, but hopefully this video has been beneficial to you. And if it has made all the influence in your purchasing decisions, I would truly appreciate it if you check out my Amazon affiliate links down below. Again, this costs nothing extra to you. It just gives me a little compensation so I can continue making videos like this for you. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave it down below. I will get to them as fast as I can. And until then, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.